Sydney Harbour. One of the finest natural harbours in the world, safe and sheltered anchorage for ships of every ocean. Gateway to the port of Sydney and Australia's biggest city of 1.5 million people. Just inside the harbour entrance, the pilot ship Captain Cook lies anchored in Watson's Bay. On board, a pilot stands by day and night to bring vessels into port. High above Watson's Bay stands the signal station on South Head. The 8-mile flag is flying to warn the Captain Cook that a ship is approaching and needs a pilot. When the ship is 2 miles off the heads, the signal master puts up the black ball. Signal to the pilot ship to get underway.
Let go!
Of course, the pilots know every inch of the harbour, its channels and hazards, its navigation laws. But they're not just smooth water sailors. Most of them have been masters in their own ships, have sailed the oceans of the world. They know the ways of big ships. Out from the sheltered waters of the harbour, out from the rocky faces of the heads, taking the pilot out to the ship coming in.
Pilots in the boat, stand by. All ready, forward. Carriers up.
Jumping to the ladder of a big ship from a boarding boat is a tricky business even in calm weather. When the dirty sou'easters come sweeping up from the Pacific, it's hard to avoid a ducking. Pilot aboard. Carry on, pilot. Take her up the harbour until she's safely berthed. Full ahead. Full ahead, sir. In through the heads to the busy waters of the harbour. Follow the deep water channels. Watch the well-learned landmarks. Take your bearings from the leading marks and buoys. Steady as she goes. Steady as she goes. Past Steel Point, Chowder Bay, Point Piper and Shark Island, threading her way through the small craft that trade on the sailor's law that steam gives way to sail. Skirting Bradley's Head, where the mast of the old cruiser Sydney stands, a memorial to her victory over the Emden, famous German raider of the First World War. handling a great ship, pilot. A great ship loaded perhaps with machinery for the factories of New South Wales, with tractors for the farms of the outback, or merchandise for the warehouses along the waterfront. Cargoes from the far parts of the earth. Bringing her past Fort Denison, built in the earliest days of the settlement for the defense of the young colony. Then on past the city that has spread round the shores of this great harbor since the first white man came, 160 years ago. Off Kirribilli, tugs come alongside to shepherd the big ship to her berth.
Hey, take away. Right, boss.
Through the great arc of the harbour bridge to the berths and wharves beyond. White Bay, Darling Harbour, Piermont, Walsh Bay, Glebe Island and Woolwich Dock, Long Nose Point and Balmain. 14 miles of wharves and berths for over 200 ships, from Woolloomooloo to Pulpit Point, almost in the heart of the city. 4,000 ships in and out of the harbour every year, millions of tons of cargo to and from the ports of the world. Tools and machinery, oil and chemicals, wood pulp and paper coming in. Great cargoes going out. Beef and lamb, wool and wheat, butter and eggs, fruit and wine. Food for the people of the world. Big ships and small. They come and go. Freighters, tankers and ocean liners from every continent and every country. Brought safely into the port by the men of the pilot service. So long, pilot, until the next ship comes in.